Hello. So I posted a video not too long ago that was supposed to provide a single pattern to play all up and down the neck in any key, and I never got to the point. So here's a quick point. So first thing you have to do is learn your modes. When I was learning my modes, I recognized a pattern. So I only play 5 modes because I think there's only 5 important modes for most playing, and I combine the notes from the other 2 modes. So going through the modes, let's say if you go up the neck, you play the modes starting with Alien, which is the minor scale. Then the next step up, you can play Ionian, and so on. You go up Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian. Those are the 5 modes that I use. So you have to learn those, or be familiar with them at least. But one thing I recognize is that there's a 14-note pattern that just repeats. So if you learn that shape, then you can play. You can pick a key, and you just have to recognize where you are in the shape to start playing in a certain key. Not in a certain key, but in a certain mode in a key. So let me simplify this. So here's the pattern right here. Let me jump to the point so I make sure I get to it. All right, check this out. Let me get to the camera. Okay. So here's the 14 notes. I'm going to do it in the major key, which is Ionian. We're in a major scale. So here it is. 1, 2, 3. See that? It's 1, 2, 3. Skipping that ring finger. The same thing again. 1, 2, 3. Skipping that. Skipping the ring finger again. And then, so it's pair here, and then move. Next string is pair here and pair here. So reverse it. Let me do it with one finger so you can see. Then this is on a 6 string, but the same thing applies on a 4 string. The shape is just shorter. Okay, so we're up to 12 notes, and then there's 2 notes to end it. Where am I? Da 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 da, and then these 2 notes. So I'm starting all my notes on this fret, but in a major scale, this is the root note. You're like, oh, well, I can play that pattern all over the neck and it doesn't seem to be in the same key. Okay, so here's the trick. You play it. To keep going, all you do is shift down half step. Start over. Da, 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 da. So say I would, I'm going to start over. If I had like a 1,000,000 string neck, I could just keep doing that and shift down. After I finish the 14 notes, shift down a half step, shift down a half step. And I'd be playing everything in A major, or what is this? This is a 6 string. So E major. So let me see. I'm gonna, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go back up to the B string and show you how the pattern continues. Now that won't be in key because or would it be? No, it wouldn't. It won't be in key because the next string wouldn't be a B string down here. Okay, so here we go. Back to the top for major scale. Do, 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 do. Switch to the other side. Then 2 to finish. Shift down. Start again with the doubles in the beginning. And then I'm going to move back up just to continue it. Reverse the pattern. 2, shift down again. Now you wouldn't, again, to clarify, you would not move back up to the B string, but that's what the pattern would look like if you kept going. So you're like, well, I can't just start. So you could actually, so if you if you know this pattern and you know what the first starting point is of a mode in any key you want to play in, you can start in that key, in that mode, and just repeat the pattern. That's the whole thing, is like you can use this pattern on any scale in any mode. So I started it here for Ionian. My root note is E. So if I want to shift, if I want to play that same in the same key in Dorian, I would start it with the E. This is the first three notes of Dorian. So that's the equivalent of here, starting on this line. So here goes Dorian. 2, shift, start over. So that's E Dorian. Same pattern. Once you learn this pattern in your modes, you don't have to memorize where notes are on this the bass neck, because it just repeats. It repeats all up and down the neck. So let's say I want to play in the minor. So I know the minor mode. First three notes is this. So that's starting on, back to our first example, that would be starting on the third line. So I'm starting on the third line. Fourth line, fifth line is the two notes. Start over. Let's pick a less common one. Phrygian. Phrygian again starts one note below the root. So if I'm doing E Phrygian, it starts on the second line. So the pair's right here. Da, 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 and then it shifts, reverses to the third line. 2, move down. That's all there is to it. For this to make sense, you got to get familiar with the modes. But I was trying to memorize the modes, and then once I recognized the pattern, I realized all I got to do is learn those 14 notes in that shape. Now, of course, you could put it in your own shape, because there's a bunch of different shapes you could use, but for me, that shape made the most sense. Let me think of another example. Okay, so say I want to play in... Okay, here's a thing that's cool. Say I want to play in D, alright? This is the D up here. And I want to play in a minor key, in D. Okay, so I'm using Aeolian. So I know the first three notes are, that's Aeolian, it's a minor scale, so I know the first three notes are the third, starting at the third line, where the pair is hold on a sec, where the pair is the second and third note. I'll play it with one finger. So starting on the third line, fourth line, fifth line, it's a 2, shift down. Okay, so that's cool enough, right? But, you know, I always had trouble going down, because I can remember the shapes going up, but going down, it's like, oh, what do I do? Okay, well, the pattern just continues. So I know if I go ba, 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 well, what comes before that is where the pairs are here. And then when you get to the bottom of the pattern, you would shift up because you're going down. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to explain that. You can figure it out for yourself. Learn that pattern and then start exploring the modes, and that's the end of it, man. The shit's all over. You're all over the neck. In any key, in any mode. Every mode represents a chord. So the four most likely modes, or the four that I use the most, are Aeolian, which is the minor scale, Ionian, which is the major scale. Those two modes will pretty much cover 90% of what you play. But like if you're playing over, you say you have to play over like a major 7. Well, that's the Mixolydian mode. Or minor 7 is the Phrygian mode. So those 4 cover a hell of a lot of the songs that you'll ever have to play. Yeah. So,
Hey, Dad.
so say for example, here's one more example. Hold on. Say you're playing a progression that goes. You want to play in key over the chord progression. So say you're playing a progression that's like A minor, A minor here. So the guitarist is playing A minor. So I'm playing the minor mode on A.
Can I lower this? Because I want.
Hold on. And then the next key is C major. So I go down to the C. And then I play the major Ionian scale. So I'm walking. And say the next chord is E7. So then I switch to E major 7, so I switch to Mixolydian. And that's it, man. I'm all over what the guitarist is playing. So I recommend you learn that pattern and figure out how to apply it to the modes by looking at the beginning 3 shapes of each mode. Alright, I'm Mick. I hope this was helpful. Sorry it took so long to get it up.